This is a review of the OtterBox Defender iPhone 6 Plus and 6s Plus case. It's the Indigo Harbor color. Inside the box, you'll find the OtterBox case itself, and it's snapped into the belt clip, which is very handy. I've used these for years. Just to give you a comparison, this is the size of my iPhone 5s case, which I just traded that phone in. Pretty much the same color, a little bit darker blue, but you can see a tremendous difference in size, and that's because the phone itself is much larger and requires a much bigger case. This is an expensive phone. You're talking about a 128 gig version, which sells at about $950. So getting a good case for it's important. And I've had iPhones for many, many years. I also use iPads and other devices, and almost all of them are installed in OtterBox cases because I've had good success. This case here has been dropped 24 times. It's popped out of the clip, it's hit concrete floors, it's landed on the corners, it's landed on the front, it's landed on the back, and you can see after 2 years it pretty much looks new. The case itself is very rugged. The clip here has multiple functions. You can rotate the clip on the back like this, as you can see, and you can take it and open it up and use it as a stand if you'd like. It will lock into place. The clip will lock open in a stand mode, and as you can see here, it stands up like this. This has the screen facing out, so you can use it to read newspapers, watch the morning news, or watch a video. When I carry my phone, I have it clipped on. I always carry the phone with the screen to the inside. That way, if for some reason the belt clip slips off my belt, for example, and it falls, the phone is completely 360-degree covered in very robust case design with thermal polyurethane, a molded case, and impact points on all the corners, and the screen is covered. The case itself comes in 3 parts. I'll show those in a second, and of course it quickly unsnaps from the belt holster. You want to take the case apart. It's important that you pop up these flaps that cover the different ports, because that helps the case to come off more easily from the outside hard polyurethane shell. After I pop up the flaps, I usually start at the bottom because it always seems to be the easiest to get open. I do want to point out that the belt holster and the case combined weigh in at 5.96 ounces. The case, when assembled, weighs in at 3.49 ounces, and the holster itself weighs in at 2.5 ounces. So it does add some bulk to the phone, but I have to tell you, they're the most protective cases I've found. This part of the case, or the hard shell case, is made in 2 parts. It separates, and there are little tabs all the way around the outside. On all the different sides, you have to release those to separate them. Just do it carefully and patiently, and you won't break them. If you force them, you can break them, but I tell you, I've never broken one. Just take your time. Here you can see the main 4 components again: the holster, the exterior rubberized outside case, the front cover. It contains the screen protector also, and this is the back of the case, and inside of it, it has a very thin layer of memory foam that the phone will rest against and keep it from being scratched. This front cover here has a protective screen to protect the case itself. In addition to that, there's even a piece of plastic that goes over the fingerprint sensor hole for the home button. You leave that in place and you drop the cover in, and make sure before you do that that you do clean the phone and make sure there's no dust and dirt and fibers on it. I have dropped the phone now into the back of the case just to show you that. I'm going to flip this cover over. I've cleaned the phone, it's nice and clean, and I'm going to align this and go around the outside and snap in all the little clips to lock it into place onto the phone, and hold it securely. You can actually hear those popping into place. So right now I've got the phone into the hard shell case. I'm going to reach over here and actually turn off the phone, and I want to show you something. You hear people complaining all the time about cases and the screen. I'm not a fan of screens myself, but OtterBox is trying hard to make the screens better and better. Right now, you really can't tell there's a screen on this. There's even a piece of plastic over the fingerprint sensor. I'm going to touch the button here, press it, leave my finger on it, and it sends my fingerprint right through the piece of plastic instantly. So when you hear people complaining about not being able to turn their phones on with the screens and things, I don't see that. I think it's working much better than it used to, and you can see here that the screen is crystal clear and there's absolutely no degradation of getting the thing to work and do different things that you would want to do with the device. At this point, you want to put the case back into the exterior polyurethane cover, and I'll do that and show you what it looks like. Here you can see the case is assembled now, and the phone is protected 360 degrees, everything from the screen protector on the front to all the corners being protected from bounces and jars. I tell you, I've owned OtterBox cases for many years on a lot of my phones. I've dropped phones on pieces of steel, on concrete floors, on sidewalks, on driveways. I've never damaged a phone. So this is an expensive case, but I got to tell you, as far as I can see, it's well worth it. In addition, if you look at this, you'll see all the cutouts are in exactly the right place. Here's the volume button. This helps to lock the exterior in place. Here's the flap here that you can flip up, and this is the mute button that you can take the phone and put it on vibrate and mute the ring. On the bottom here, you'll have two flaps. This one here is a flap for the headphones and microphone. And then here is a flap for the lightning connector to charge the phone. And then here's a cutout for the speaker. In addition, there's an extra microphone in there. On the side here is the power off-on button, the sleep button, so it's handy to get to. On the back side here, you can still see the Apple logo. You'll see the camera and the flash. Everything's cut out perfectly. It's all in the right place. I like this case a lot. I ordered this case directly from OtterBox because they had the exact model number that I couldn't find at the time when I ordered it many weeks ago for the new iPhone 6s Plus. It fits perfectly, it looks great, it's highly protective. It's an expensive case, but I tell you what, like I said, I've used them for many years and they're very protective, and I've yet to damage a phone. This case isn't perfect. I think there's a little things that can be improved. I think there's always room for improvement on the screen, but I'm only going to deduct a half a star at 4.5 stars. It's better than before, and the fact that it works through the home button with the fingerprint sensor is pretty good. Again, just to show you that, I press the button, leave my thumb on it or my finger on it. It instantly opened up, sensing my fingerprint through the piece of plastic. That's pretty good. I like this case a lot. Since there are no half stars, I'm going to rate it at 5 stars. This review was done by JJ CEO. And if you have any questions or comments, please just write me a comment and I'll try to answer it for you.